Hello, welcome back to another one of my videos. I'm Crazy Boy. This video title is going to be called How to Make Your Own Incense Cones. The first thing I'm going to talk about first is you will be needing a specific ingredient, and the ingredient is called Mako. Mako is a natural combustible substance. It's from a tree in Japan. The Mako that I get, the Mako powder that I get, I actually get from a lady friend of mine that I read cards for, that owns her own like Chinese, Japanese shop. And I'm more than sure if you look online, you'll be able to find Mako powder. It really is inexpensive, and you know, especially if you're interested in this craft of wanting to make your own incense cones. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the ratio, kind of, sort of, mainly because it's really your own formulation, mainly because it's your preference of how fast you want the incense cone to burn. Usually what is recommended is you use, if you're going to be using just a regular dry mix with no resin in it, you would use 10% to 25% of the Mako powder in your dry mix. In layman's terms, it would be like maybe 4 tablespoons of your dried mix, and then also 1 tablespoon or half a tablespoon of the Mako powder would be added to it. So that's pretty much how it works, or the formulation of it. The other one is if you're going to be using like a resin like copal or maybe frankincense and you grind it up yourself, they actually ask for 75 to 85% of Mako powder to be used in your dry mix. So it varies, and also it's more of experimenting. I had to kind of figure out how much Mako I really want to put in certain mixtures. So again, remember, it's a preference. So the first time, make sure you have your book of shadows with you so you can write down the measurements and everything like that, so you can get it right for yourself. So another thing that they also recommend is that you grind up the dried mixture as good as you can, mainly because the better you grind up your mixture and the more you mix it, makes a more of an even burn. Okay, so I'm just going to show what else you need. And of course you will need your dry mix, and this is sage and sweetgrass with 1 or 2 drops of juniper berry essential oil. It smells really good. This is my cleansing mix with also bringing good spirits. So that's the first one I have. Now this is right here, this is the Mako powder. It's a brown powder. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna dump it in the dry mix, and this dry mix has been left overnight, so just so it can blend a little bit better. And we're just gonna start mixing it, because that's the main thing. Mixing is very important. We want everything to be mixed in this mixture so everything will burn very evenly. Now the next thing we'll be needing is distilled water, and what they say is just to add 1 or 2 drops very slowly. So we'll just add 2 drops and we'll mix it. It's a very slow process, but you also are putting a lot of intent. You're putting a lot of energy into the incense. So and I kind of know like how much to add to it, so that's why I'm kind of putting more drops in there. And what we want it to be the consistency of is like almost like I guess you could say like very dry mud, to where everything will stick together but not break apart. As you can see now, it's getting more, I guess you could say almost like chunky, so that's good. Just keep on adding more distilled water. So now that it's kind of chunky already and it's kind of sticking to itself already, the next thing you will need is your fingers. Now the thing they also say too is to knead it, to knead the mixture. That it's very important to knead it. To make sure that everything gets evenly distributed all over the cone. So it'll burn more evenly. So there you go. Of course you would knead it a little bit more. You would knead it until it feels very blended together, but there you go. Now what you're going to do is you're going to put this on top of a wax paper and you're going to leave it to dry for about 2 weeks. After that, you light it and burn it, and the next thing you'll see them finished, okay? Alright, I'll see you soon. Okay, so these are some of the cones that I've made before in the past. And pretty much what you would do is you would of course dry these out until the bottoms appear dry. So make sure to see, they're very small, they're very tiny in my lab. See? Yeah, they're dry, they're pretty much dried out. So these right here, they have a little bit more bits and pieces. I find these look a little bit more natural to me, but if you feel that you need to grind up every last bit of the incense or the loose incense that you use and the resins, go for it. But to me, it just looks a little bit more natural. The only thing is though is that I have one right here burning. As you can see, it's burning. Oh, it smells really good. The only thing is though is that with them having the chunks and pieces and not completely grounded up all the way, it kind of burns a little uneven. But it still burns pretty good. And I always feel making your own incense, you're actually putting more intent in your spellcraft. So yeah, so that's how you make your own incense cones. Thank you for watching, and blessed be.